They're here in force tonight. Man's best friend, a platoon of puppies. And most of them are Padre fans, and they're trying to growl out a victory for the home team tonight. What a night. The dog days are here at Petco Park as we welcome you on another beautiful summer's night to Game 2 of this 4-game series, Houston Astros and the San Diego Padres. And good evening, everyone. The Padres last night and the Astros, a pitcher's duel, and Houston wins it 2-0 and made history. It's too tough to explain, but it never had happened since back in the 1890s that a pitcher with so many losses in a row, for a team that had so many losses in a row, would win a game, and we'll get to that later. But more importantly, it all started early. The little men in the lineup playing big, Mark.
Just plain old spark plugs, and they inject some energy for each of these ball clubs. We talked about last night, Jose Altuve. Yeah, he's got a little sock in that bat. He has a great swing. We're going to get to that later, talking to the Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn, but he puts a charge in the lineup. On the other side of the scorecard, Alexi Amarista. Yeah, he can put the ball in the ballpark, but extra base is a big part of his game. These guys are firecrackers. They like to swing the bat very aggressive at the plate. I like to see that, and both teams need just that.
Well, they always cheat in their height. When you're small, you say you're 5'7" when you're really 5'5". That doesn't mean you're small. It just means you're short, and these two men are built pretty well.
Yeah, they are. And the thing that when you look at their swings, the one thing that they both do is they stay centered. And you see, once that front foot hits the ground, when they get to contact, the body is exactly centered in their stance. You see Amarista get his foot down, the weight is right in the center of his stance. That's going to allow him to take a consistent swing, and that's, even though they're small in stature, both of those guys swing the bats like the big boys do.
Well, the Houstons may have won last night, but the Padres already have a victory. We just won the GPA title, grade point average. We got two Princetons in the lineup, and one of them is on the mound, Ross Ohlendorf. He's got a couple of wins already as a Padre. He'll try to get the San Diego Padres back on the winning track, and that'll have all the dogs here howling. And we're set to go on this Tuesday night at Petco Park. The Astros and the Padres. Beautiful night for fans out in the pet park at the park with their pets. Getting ready for the action is Brad Mills, third-year skipper of the Astros, has set his lineup. Much like the one we saw last night. Here it is. ALTUVE leads it off. Then Gonzalez and Moore. JT Martinez in the cleanup spot. He leads the team in RBIs with 49. Then Bogusevic. Chris Johnson at third. Jordan Shaver, the speed in center field. Just called up. Switch hitting catcher Carlos Corporan and Jordan Lyles on the mound. On the mound for the Padres tonight, 6'4" right-hander, 29-year-old Ross Ollendorf, and we're underway. The first pitch, high, ball one. They're calling him the Sultan of Short, Jose Altuve. He had a double to lead it off last night and scored, and that was enough for the Astros to win. Fastball hits the outside corner. Darren Balsley feels that the Padres may have really stolen a good right arm in Ollendorf. Sinker, 2-1.
That's a big key of his game, guys, is the sinker. And I wanted to make a point. And Darren Balsley, the pitching coach for the Padres, always preaches this. Working down to the zone sinkers. Hey, wear out that carpet on that infield that is Luke Yoder's. Hey, have Luke reseed that infield with all those grounders.
It's the edge again. It's 2-2.
And when he stays where he threw that last pitch, now he's a tough guy to hit. You're going to get those ground balls when you stay down in the zone like he did on that last one.
He has to avoid the deep counts, too.
Reaches out, a little pop fly back of first base. Alonso squeezes the first out of the game. And let's look at the Padres defense brought to you by Mazda. KOTSAY gets the start in left with Maben and Venable in the outfield. Headley and Alonso at the corners. Double play combination of Amarista and Forsythe. And behind the plate is Grandal.
Oh, somewhere Mark Sweeney is smiling. Seeing Mark KOTSAY out there in left field as Carlos Quinton watches from the dugout tonight.
Couple of nights off in a row, as Black said in the post-game conference last night. Just want to rest that surgical knee. MARWIN Gonzalez, fresh off the disabled list, took a couple of good swings on pitches last night. Was 2 for 4 with a walk. Down the middle, and that's right where Gonzalez hits it. Up the middle for a base hit. And the first base knock of the game goes to the Houston shortstop.
You know, the ball off the end of the bat, it had that hollow sound. Why? Because it was a changeup down and away, Tony, and going right up the center rather than trying to pull that pitch.
Well, he stayed on it, and that's why he was able to get enough of the bat on it to hit it up the middle. And he's right. He's swung the bat really good in this series so far.
And you can get fooled with the body, but it's a key in keeping your hands back, correct?
That's correct. And we talked about it on the little video in the open. If you can keep your body centered, you can get a little bit out in front and still be able to have the barrel come through the zone.
First pitch strike to Scott Moore, the first baseman. 2 for 2 against Ollendorf in earlier action. With JD Martinez, the cleanup hitter, on deck. Infield position for a possible double play chance, and quick move, and that was close. Gonzalez electing to go back without a slide. Ollendorf at Princeton University at the same time as right fielder Will Venable. Off speed for the first time. The slider misses.
I think that Grandal just got crossed up. He caught that pitch as if he was expecting a fastball. And it was a break. Watch the reaction of Grandal on this pitch. He sets up away. Whoa, hey. And then he calls time and goes out and has a chat.
And he doesn't just sit back there and say, hey. He gets up, he goes out to Ollendorf, and you've got to get on the same page. And that's one thing that's been pretty impressive about YASMANI Grandal, is he hadn't been afraid to go out there and say what needs to be said, whether it's getting cross up or not putting the ball where you need to put it.
Fouled back. The concern with Grandal is the fact that he has not thrown out many runners trying to steal. In fact, Houston set a season high last night with 5 stolen bases. And some of that goes on the pitchers not holding on the runner.
Well, you know, it's just like hitting. You know, you're getting these. You got to figure out how this game works and the things that you need to do. And behind the plate, you know, obviously one of your duties is being able to hopefully shut down the running game. And some of it's been on him, some of it's been on the pitchers, but you know, ultimately, you know, you're gonna have to make a play and eventually throw somebody out.
Count stays at 2-2.
You know, there is an umpire note tonight, guys. We just got word minutes before the game that Scott Berry is had to leave for medical conditions. So we've got 1, 2, 3 umpires. Tony, we're going back to the minor league days, the PCL. So Jerry Meals is at second base. Paul Emmel is over at first, and Gary Darling behind the plate.
And it's hard, too, because the rotations now change. You know, when the ball goes to the outfield, one guy will go out and watch the ball being caught, and the other 2 guys will rotate. Now the rotations change a little bit.
Yeah, much the responsibility level goes up. Runners on, balls in the gap.
Goes up a lot.
I'm going to get some road work tonight. One out single by Gonzalez, bearing the attention of Ohlendorf. 2-2 again, coming up to Scott Moore, and he struck him out. A slider gets Moore for the second out.
Kind of a hanger. Kind of got away with one here.
Sometimes if they're hung up there a little high, then a hittable hanger, it can work to your advantage as well.
If it doesn't break a lot like that one didn't, you can get away with it.
And if that continues to break into his power zone, then it's a different story.
Usually that's a ball all hitters would like to get a chance to hit.
The cleanup hitter, left fielder J.D. Martinez, checks in with 11 home runs and 49 runs batted in. Well-placed fastball for a strike with 92 miles an hour behind it.
And of course, our Fox Tracks had that one right on the outside corner. That's where Ohlendorf wants to be. And the Fox Tracks brought to you by my good friends at Southland Technologies. They're number 1.
There he goes. Fly ball sliced down the right field line, a long run, and that ball drops just in fair territory. Continuing as Gonzalez, and now he pulls up as the throw comes in. A good throw by Will Venable, and wisely they check Gonzalez at third base on a bloop double off the bat of J.D. Martinez. Just a wedge shot. That was pin high.
Yep, right off the end of the bat. Nothing anybody could do. And Venable does a nice job of coming up with this ball and making a strong throw to the plate.
So second and third for the Astros with 2 outs, and Brian Bogusevic steps up.
And that was a pretty good slider down and away. I mean, that was well off the plate. Nothing you can do there.
Bogusevic hitting at .221. Had a line drive double off the center field wall last night. Padres actually out-hit Houston last evening 6-5. But the Astros and Altuve with runs in the first and third, and on to a 2-0 win. And having trouble again settling on the signs with a runner at second base. So I'm going to duck in this history because we're going back at the same time that they were inventing the Dow Jones averages in the 1896 Olympics. Jake Boyd of Washington was 0-11 and won a game. Since that time, no pitcher with a losing record, consecutive losses of more than 10 on a team that had lost 10 or more in a row on the road, had come back to win until last night.
Wow.
Hap beat the Padres. So you say you're going to see something new every night?
We've seen a lot of history this year. Jamie Moyer, beating the Padres, becoming the oldest pitcher to win a ball game at the big league level. And there's a couple other ones as well.
Grandal,
that's true.
First
Grandal,
game,
yeah.
home run, both sides of the plate.
This is not a good sign when your catcher and the pitcher are not on the same page. Now, Grandal does have the whiteout on his fingernails. I don't think it's an issue of Ollendorf not seeing the signs. I think it's just the sequence of signs.
Inside 1-1.
I think it's pitch selection. Ollendorf has a definite idea of what he wants to do to try to get hitters out. And Grandal's trying to get on that same page.
Good pitch in on the fist. 1-2. So 1 out single by Gonzalez up the middle. The bloop double by Martinez. 2 out second and third for Houston. Converted pitcher in college at Tulane, Bogusevic. Struck him out. Couple of strikeouts for Ollendorf in the first inning as he leaves 2 runners stranded in scoring position. Padres baseball brought to you by AT&T, the largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Petco, where the healthy pets go. That's a great night as the dogs have invaded Petco Park. Dogs night out. They're having their tailgate party now. Bottom of the first inning, Alexi Amarista to start it against young Jordan Lyles. Lyles only 21 years of age. It's a nice build for a pitcher, 6'4", 208. Amarista, a couple of base hits last night, raising his average up to 289. A ball and a strike. First time Lyles has pitched here at Petco on the road, looking for his first major league win. He's 0 for 7. Pulled, then off the knee of first baseman Scott Moore, but able to scramble on the warning path and keep Amarista from advancing to second base. Moore was playing way off the line, had to scamper to the bag.
I think that's got to be an error.
He didn't get any glove on, hit him right in the shin.
That's a shin burger.
Well, Amarista's smiling. They just ruled that a hit.
Is there anything as an error anymore?
No. Tony, you would have hit 400 the way they keep scoring these. Logan Forsythe. Well, Amarista now has hit safely in 6 straight games, and Forsythe with a modest 6-game hitting streak.
Well, hit or error, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Get your lead
Base
off runner on.
Absolutely.
Got a chance to have some action here, maybe hit and run, straight steal.
fakes going, and the ball right back to the mound. The throw to second for one, back to first, a double play. Good reaction. Lyles spinning, perfect strike to second on the 1-6-3 double play. Here's the Padres lineup tonight, with Amarista Forsythe and Headley coming up now. KOTSAY in the cleanup spot. YASMANI, Grandal, Yonder Alonso, Will Venable, 3 straight left-handed batters. And then Cameron Maben dropped down to the 8th slot in front of Ross Ohlendorf. Headley at 266, the club leader in home runs and RBIs and walks. Lyles, #1 draft pick of Houston, a supplemental first-round pick 4 years ago. Ground ball up the middle. Second baseman ALTUVE pulls off the first baseman, but Moore able to slap the tag on Headley as he goes by. And the Padres go on in the first to the second, no score.
Here at Petco Park, Padres Baseball on Fox Sports San Diego. We continue Social Media Tuesday. Thank you for sending your questions to the booth using the hashtag on Twitter, FSBooth. And this is the question from SVBC Athletics. Any thoughts regarding interleague play next season? And this is for the booth. And then they went on to say they weren't sure if they were fans of it, especially late in the year. So that is a question up for you guys in the booth today.
All right, Layla, we'll digest that for you. As first Chris Johnson steps in, it'll be SCHAFER and Corporan to follow in the Houston second. No score. I know, Mark Grant, you're not in favor.
You know what? There are some goods, there are some positives and negatives regarding everything, but I like to see National League play National League. I like to see American League play American League. The All-Star game, it's the one time of the year. And then, of course, the Fall Classic. That's just me, one man's opinion.
Yeah, you're old school. For a long time I felt that way. And the problem is that Houston's going to the American League. So now each league has 15 teams. And because each league has 15 teams, there'll be an interleague game every day. And my problem with that is, as long as everybody plays this, if you're in a Western Division and you're going to play the American League West.
Swing and a miss. Johnson, the third strikeout, the victim. And our Saquon Daycation highlight of the game from Ohlendorf. He's got 3 strikeouts already. Good mixture of pitches.
If he keeps that slider biting like that, he's going to have a lot of strikeouts this evening. Good tilt, good location. Hence the strikeout for Ohlendorf.
Now the argument, of course, for interleague play is from a fan's point of view and a marketing point of view, and that is that, hey, if I'm a San Diego Padre fan, I got season tickets, I'd like to see the Red Sox. I'd like to see the Yankees and Tigers.
That's a great point.
And if you're going to give me that as a bonus, I might say yes, sir. Oh, my. On the other hand, I sympathize with the traditionalists. There was something in the old days. You got 8 American League teams and 8 National League teams, and you didn't see each other except once in the summer, All-Star, and then you battled it out in the fall. Classic. Now that's a beautiful bunt. That's going to be tough to get. Speedy Jordan Schaefer. That was beautifully executed by Schaefer.
He put it in the perfect spot because once Alonso went to go get it, it was a race between Schaefer and Ohlendorf to the bag. He shows it early, puts it in a good spot, and the race is on between the hitter and the pitcher. Who's going to win the race? Schaefer got an outstanding jump. Forsythe couldn't get there. Ohlendorf couldn't get there, and that's a base hit.
Yeah, you know, as I look at that play, it would have been interesting if Alonso held his ground, and because Forsythe was charging, still would have been tough. But as you saw before that last shot there, Forsythe he definitely had a beat on it.
Right.
So here's the young catcher. Ooh, close play there at first, and they better watch Schaefer. He leads the team with 22 stolen bases. Corporan just 2 at bats since being called up. The Astros placing catcher Jason Castro on the DL prior to the series, along with the top hitting infielder Jed Lowry. Thrown away by Ohlendorf, and Schaefer won't have to steal it. He gets it on the error by the pitcher. So 1 out, and Schaefer perched at second.
Well, the Padres have to play flawless baseball. This ball is just yanked, not even close. Underneath the right armpit of Schaefer. That's a tough break.
Well, that look from the manager we've seen much too often this year. It's the look that says, what the is going on? Oh, they might have had him there because Schaefer looked as if he was going to try to steal third. He was way off the bag and taking a step toward third when Amarista broke behind him. Look at this. He's going the other way.
Yeah, that's the daylight play. Flash the leather, turn and throw. And remember, as a pick off the second base, you do not have to throw the baseball. The kid puts it in the runner's mind. Maybe shorten him up a little bit.
Line drive foul down the right field side. And of course, again, with all the changes made in the pitching staff and Grandal being the rookie called up, you know, they had maybe a brief time, not the pitcher catcher combination. They were united here in the regular season, so there's no spring training to fall back on. And Amarista the same. He comes from the Angels, so the whole coordination of a pickoff move a little tougher doing it on the fly.
I think on that one it would have been perfect to do the spin and turn move. Schaefer was looking like he was wanted to steal third base, and lifting that leg might have got him to commit to go to third.
Yeah, a lot of guys key off that. They go into their secondary lead. That's a good point.
So 2 strikes now on the catcher Corporan, with pitcher Jordan Lyles on deck. And Marista trying to keep the runner close. There he goes. Throw by Grandal, not in time. Oh, you could see that coming. Number 23 for Schaefer. Third base is easier to steal than second.
And even though Grandal's got the front door open there with that left-handed hitter, a clear throw to third base. Ross Ohlendorf just one look, the runner. I mean, you got to come set, look once, twice, 3 times. You know, make somebody call time just to give that runner the indication. Hey, you know what? I've got you. I'm watching you.
Well, when he stepped off to go to second, you could see that Schaefer was looking to possibly steal a bag.
Infield in, and a high drive down the right field line, hooking at the pole, and it is just foul. So the infield now has to draw in with a runner at third, 1 out, and the count remains 1-2 on Corporan.
That's a good play right there by Will Venable, because even if he could have caught that, would have, with 2 strikes, that's a smart play to let that ball fall. Give Ohlendorf a chance to maybe get it out here. You got the pitcher on deck, because if he catches that ball, he's got no chance at throwing the runner out at the plate. So
throw to third. Ooh, almost throw to left field. As GRANDAL was wide of the bag as SCHAFER had a big lead. But he's aggressive. You got to applaud that.
And that's a good play by GRANDAL, because letting SCHAFER know, hey, I see you over there. And hey, if the throw is on target, hey, maybe you get him, maybe you don't. But you know, gives you the thought that he's probably coming on contact.
And another point is it's a fastball away, so it gets the momentum of GRANDAL going towards third base as he caught that pitch to throw to third. He had him 0-2 in this at bat, and now it's full.
Chop to second. No play there. Forsythe has to get the out at first base unassisted, and the run scores. So the bunt single, error, stolen base, and the Astros, as they did last night, stretch out a run and the early lead. Oh, time now, Mark Grant, for our Lexus keys to the game.
Well, since it's the dog days here, no doggy bag. And don't take anything left over. Get it from last night's game. Put it behind you. Put it behind you in a hurry. And also, release the hounds. There's a little bit of dog in everyone. I mean, a fighting dog. These Padres need to fight tonight like dogs and win a ball game.
Snarly. Not gnarly. Attack dog.
Petco Park, Houston leading San Diego 1-0, and we want to show you some of the photos we've gotten so far. Thanks to you for tweeting them. Hashtag FSBooth and at Fox Sports SD. These are some of the great pictures we've gotten, and if you've got a picture, make sure to tweet yours. Send it to us. Thanks to VW Bus for sending us one of their dog. We appreciate it. I'm hanging out with Dylan and Lily, and Dylan, the Chocolate Lab, is pretty excited, but we got him back. He ran off a little bit ago, but just a great day here at the park. And thanks to everybody for bringing their dogs. Show us yours as we continue Social Media Tuesday. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, I think this is Layla's highlight of the season, don't you? Mark KOTSAY starts the second. Before.
Hey.
Uh-oh. Trying to run the bases. That's a strike to KOTSAY, who is hitting .289 on the season. But lifetime against Houston, .343. Another strike.
Big curveball from Lyles, along with that curveball, fastball, slider, and a change.
Lyles came up as a 20-year-old last year, was 2-7. 2-5 this season. And one of the wins against the Padres in Houston late in June. Works quickly.
I'm telling the cage hanging out in batting practice today, and you know, the game plan for Lyles was if you're a left-hand hitter, you're going to see a lot of sinkers running away, overhand curveball.
Ground ball right at the second baseman ALTUVE. One away. And a reminder, coming up on Saturday night, the Summer Sky Blast presented by Verizon. Padres and the Rockies at 5:35 Saturday night, and the Padres will be rocketing the downtown sky with the biggest fireworks show in Petco history. Get your tickets tonight at Padres.com. Houston tomorrow afternoon and Thursday night, and then the Rockies Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. Yasmani Grandal cues that first pitch foul. So this young guy's never won a game on the road. 0-7 in 14 starts.
It's unbelievable. We saw last night's starter, even Dick, you talked about it, but Jay Happ, terrible road numbers. I mean, horrible. And then this year, 0-3 for Lyles, is 6.67 ERA.
Foul back, and he's ahead of Grandal 1-2.
It's so funny because that ballpark in Houston, Minute Maid Park, which is a hitter's park, the pitching staff, they put up good numbers at home. They just cannot pitch on the road.
Well, they got a winning record at home.
Line drive under the glove. Third baseman Johnson into left field. And skidding to a stop as he turns at first base is Grandal with the Padres' second hit.
Yeah, this is an impressive part about Grandal. He's not afraid to hit the ball the other way. That's a breaking ball. It's down and still hits it pretty sharply. I think Johnson probably should have come up with it, but he didn't. And again, that's, you know, you're down in the count. Hey, you want to hit a ball hard somewhere, and that's a nice job right there.
Good thing Mark Grant isn't the scorer.
I'm surprised. Seriously, I'm surprised he didn't dive for it.
Base hit for Grandal. Padres trailing 1-0 here in the second. And Yonder Alonso's the hitter. Alonso, 7 double plays, leads the club in that category, and trying to stay away from that here with 1 out and Grandal at first base. 2-0 the count. Well, the two Hurricanes hitting back to back, try to create a little storm here in the second. Fly ball hit deep to left field. That ball is really tagged back to the wall and gone. Alonso will touch them all. Padres 2, Houston 1.
Beautiful swing right there by Alonso. 2-0, didn't get big. Got a fastball that he could handle, puts a good swing on it, hits it out of the ballpark the other way. Fastball tailing back over the middle of the plate. That's really nice right there.
Right into your living room. Will Venable. Padres have the lead 2-1. Grandal and Alonso, indeed. The Miami Hurricane connection. Storm for a couple.
I remember talking to Alonso on the charter last road trip, and he said, you know what, I've got no problem with hitting doubles and triples at this ballpark. And he said, quote, the home runs will come. And if he puts swings like that on good fastballs, they're going to go. Yep. But he's fine with hitting the doubles, the extra base hits.
That's his 4th home run. Same total as Grandal. Out in front of the plate, Lyles the pitcher. Ooh, that was close. Almost a little too casual going after the ball, Lyles. 2 away. Cameron Maben steps up.
Again, being on the field today in batting practice, there was a definite conversation between the left-hand hitters about knowing they were going to get something out of the plate, probably going to be on the outer third, and that you had to be willing to hit the ball the other way.
All part of the intensive and extensive scouting by the Padres. Maven first ball swinging, and he's out 4-3. Second baseman Altuve has been busy defensively. So the Padres in the bottom of the second get a single from GRANDAL, and Alonso drives it into the left field bleachers. Home run number 4. It's 2-1 San Diego.
Astros, and somebody in Houston has a pretty good sense of humor because they embrace the lack of height of Jose Altuve. He is known to produce so, and he's known for his 5'5" listed height. They've created the website HowManyAltuves.com, and they told me there'd be no math at this job, but the good news is they calculated for you. They calculated the height of the Empire State Building, in fact, along with some other things. And it turns out that the Empire State Building, for example, is 268.4 Altuves if you were to measure his height as a unit of measurement. Another one they calculated was Cameron Maven's home run in Arizona. That's 89.5 Altuves. Dick, Mark, and Tony, that's about all the math I can stand, but thank goodness there's a calculator.
Well, we'll just call them Amaristas, and then it'll be a lot easier. And we've got to get them back to back, and like we did with Kitch, you go back to back, and your mother would put a book on your head, see which one was taller. That was important.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't already tried to do that.
We're trying to work on it.
Or a growth chart. Like I remember, didn't Chris Young have a growth chart? Every team has a growth chart that you can put on the back of your door, right? You measure up against certain ball players.
And as we said earlier, that when you're around 5'5", you're always going to say, well, in the program, put me down for 5'7". What did they put you down for, Tony?
Yeah, I was 6 foot when I was at San Diego State.
And played at 5'10".
Yeah, I actually played at 5'10". And for those guys, they got to be tired of talking about it, I'm sure. The bottom line is they can play. They're showing that they can play. And that's the ultimate measuring stick is, how are you getting it done? And Altuve's an all-star this year. Marista's been impressive.
Beautiful bunt again. That's going to be tough for Headley. No play. Gonzalez, a second bunt single tonight for the Astros. The first one paid off in a run. Gonzalez 2 for 2. Here's our Geico quote of the game. It comes from Jose Altuve. Everywhere I go, people talk about my height. I feel good about me. I just go out on the field, play like I know how to play. When I'm on the field, I feel like I'm the same size as everybody else. Thank you very much.
Yes.
That's exactly right. And you can't measure the size of what's in under that uniform either. The heart level.
Gosh darn it, people like me.
How tall are you, Mark?
Just a skosh under 6'3".
See, even you're just, that makes you 6'2" and something.
I'm 6'2" plus, yeah.
Fly ball by Scott Moore. KOTSAY waits for it to come down. That was way up there. 2 away.
Tony, I was just going to say, you played at 5'10", but you hit at 350.
340.
340.
Really. Yeah. I'll take the 10 points if you give it to me.
Yeah,
that's what, I'm sorry, Dick, that's what most young guys scuffle with. You know, they're the last thing that they kind of get over is the fact that they feel like they belong. And, you know, our young guys are going to wrestle with that for a little while, you know, and I'm sure the same on the Houston side. Can I play at this level?
Gonzalez takes off. Throw by Grandal. Off the glove of second baseman Forsythe, and another stolen base. And he had a huge jump on Ohlendorf.
Dick, I'm going to say he had a huge jump. If Forsythe's able to catch this ball, I think they're going to have a chance to get him out. He came out of the chute. He made a strong throw. And if he catches that ball, at least he'd have a shot.
Yep.
Tried to tag him before the ball was secure in the glove. And number 3, stolen base number 3 for Gonzalez, the 7th in a game and 3 innings of this series for Houston. So they get man in scoring position using the steal. That's how they got their first run. Bunt single, error, stolen base, ground out. Bloop double by Martinez that just caught inside the line down the right field side in the first inning.
Ooh. Did Grandal get that on the backswing? I thought I heard something on the backswing.
I did too. Was it the foul tip or was it the bat?
I think it was the bat. He caught the ball.
Ooh,
man.
Right on the side. Right on that mask.
Tough kid. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at second. Ground ball into left field for a base hit. And here comes the tying run. Gonzalez around third, and it's 2-all. Boy, the Astros using the formula. 2 bunt singles and a stolen base in each situation, and they get the key 2-out hit to tie it. Martinez with his 50th RBI.
Not a bad pitch by Ohlendorf either, breaking the ball down. Tina stayed with it and grounded into left field.
And as a pitcher, you know, you'll take those pitches and you'll take those ground balls every day of the week. Some are going to find the hole and some are going to be right in the glove. And next thing you know, if the time warrants, it's going to be a double play ball. So just stand that game plan. If you're going to miss down there.
Now Martinez has not stolen a base all year, but the Astros have been running from positions 1 through 8 in these first 2 games. And it's paid off. Padres have allowed the most stolen bases in the entire major leagues, 98 steals against them, 18 more than second place Angels.
As long as that keeps happening, teams are going to try to take advantage of it. They're going to keep testing you until you show them that you can defend it. If you can't defend it, well, you know what? They're going to keep on running.
No mercy. And the count now goes to 3-0 to Bogusevic. With Chris Johnson on deck. But Black making his notations.
You know, guys, when you talk about those catching numbers, the one thing that sticks out in my mind, I think of it from a pitcher's standpoint. What am I going to do? Do I try to now quicken up my delivery so I can give my catcher a chance, or do I concentrate on keeping my same delivery so I can make a good quality pitch? Each pitcher may be different in their thinking.
4-pitch walk. Bogusevic is aboard. 2 on, 2 out. Chris Johnson struck out his first time. So the 2-1 lead brief for the Padres as the Astros have come right back here in the third. High fly ball, right center. Venable calling. 3 fly ball outs in the third. But a couple of singles and a stolen base, and the Astros have tied it. Ohlendorf, then Amarista and Forsythe against young right-hander Jordan Lyles, who has given up his 11th home run of the season to Yonder Alonso. Ohlendorf 0 for 6 as a Padre as a hitter. One and one. 91 on the Lyles fastball. Slider, and that was a 0-2 pitch, and Ohlendorf walk. Time now for the Farmers Insurance report card. Notable players under 5 feet 8 inches tall. Freddie Patek at 5'5", a 3-time All-Star, but not a Hall of Famer. The other three are Hack Wilson, 191 RBI, still the National League record was only 5'6". Cubs right fielder Yogi Berra, 3-time MVP, Hall of Famer. Joe Morgan, back-to-back MVPs at 5 feet 7 inches. Little Joe was really just short Joe. Amarista.
Yeah, we got to get those guys together.
Ground ball headed toward right field, cut off, and no throw. Altuve trying to hurry as he was backpedaling to throw to Amarista's dismay and couldn't come up with the ball. And Amarista has his second infield hit tonight.
Yeah, Altuve had to go a long way for this ball. And I don't know if he was going to be able to get enough on it to throw Amarista out at first base. See, he knew he had to hurry up and get it over to.
Yeah, that's the big key, Tony. What kind of fuzz he would have had on that ball moving towards the right field line.
Been on the wrong foot. Amarista would have had a chance to beat that play out.
Brings up Logan Forsythe. Now he looks over at Altuve. How you doing? Yeah, it's the long and short of it, you know. Fly ball to right field, aimed right at Bogusevic. Moves toward the line to grab the second out and brings up Chase Headley. And our AT&T trivia question for tonight, as our theme is on the shorter stars in this great game. Who was the shortest pitcher? We're talking a lot about the hitters to ever win a league MVP award. The shortest pitcher ever to be the league, not just pitcher of the year, but the league MVP. I had a chance to see him work. Give you a hint. He was a left-hander. Chase Headley batting from the left side with Amarista at first base, 2 outs. 2-2 tie here in the third. Give you another hint. He's not only left-handed, but 5 feet 6 inches tall, and was the MVP.
Wow.
That's a good piece of trivia.
Yeah.
Yeah, the National League Western team's underway. Cincinnati shut out Arizona 4-0. Trevor Bauer taking the loss in that one.
Dick, you said he put on quite a show, huh? Trevor Bauer? Before the ball game?
We were just watching the early innings. It must have been the second inning. I bet he bounced 12 pitches in one inning.
Really?
One hit the grass.
Wow.
And then he threw it all the way to the screen.
I was just going to say, did he airmail one?
And then he threw wildly to first for an error to advance the runner. He was really having trouble with a breaking pitch.
We saw him in Arizona, and I'm a firm believer there's only so many bullets in that arm. And with his throwing program before the game, my goodness.
Well, I saw him at UCLA, and I've never seen that before.
On the inside corner, and Headley falls behind 2 strikes. I mean, he has incredible stuff.
Yeah.
There's no argument about that. But I mean, when you're working like a marathon man, an hour and a half before you pitch, and you've already, in essence, the energy wasted or utilized just to get ready to start action. That pitch just off the edge as Lyles trying to pick the corner. 1-2. Headley grounded to second base his first at bat. Struck him out. Got him with a curveball. And that's the second strikeout for Lyles. We go to the 4th, tied at 2. Days of summer at the ballpark, and a reminder you can follow Fox Sports San Diego's coverage of the Padres, MLB.com, at Bat 12. That's for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, and video highlights and more. Text at Bat 31826 or visit Padres.com for details. Fans out in the park with their favorite canine pets. It's nice that the dog is the K9 in the spirit of the baseball 9. All fits in.
Yep.
Beautiful sunset. Schaefer, one of 2 bunt singles executed by the Astros in the first 3 innings, and both Schaefer and Gonzalez, after the bunt single, came around to score for the 2 runs.
Change it right there by Ollendorf.
25 years of age, Schaefer from Winter Haven, Florida, against the 29-year-old Ollendorf from Austin, Texas. They're a big ranch outside of Austin raising longhorn cattle. Fun to visit there, huh? The Rockin' O, Oldendorf, Rockin' O Ranch.
Now that's some hard work right there, running the ranch.
Yeah.
You know, I like to get up about the crack of noon. There's no way that I would be able to adjust living on the ranch and working the ranch. The only ranch I'm working is the dressing on my salad.
And working it really well. Laboring. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Down there in Texas, they don't have the dog days. They don't celebrate with that. They just bring your longhorn, your favorite longhorn pet, to the ball game. Those are beautiful creatures, though, aren't they?
That would be a great experience, going to a ranch and working for a week, just seeing what it's like.
Signing up Layla right now. She's a Texan, and she'll be happy to take that call.
Oh, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Now, how do you know that's a boy?
Oh, I love dogs.
Good girl.
Yeah, good girl. Who's a good girl?
2 balls and 2 strikes. Nice to have our own pet in the booth, right?
No, seriously.
You've been fired up all day today.
Hey, sir, we hear it all the time, and it sounds cliche, but you come home and your dog's waiting there for you, wagging the tail, and just want a little bit of love. Very loyal.
Don't care who won, who lost.
Exactly. Yes, he did.
Good slider. And down goes Schaefer.
Seems like the slider, guys, from Oldendorf has been the pitch of the evening. He's got a great feel for that pitch.
It's late. It's a late breaking. Came out of his hand and looked like a fastball. Schaefer didn't recognize it soon enough. Couldn't stop the swing.
Catcher Carlos Corporan credited with his first RBI with a ground out in the 2nd inning. Drove in the 1st run. And we're guessing that's his first major league RBI. It's not listed on the 40-man roster that started the season. We'll have to go to the back of the book to see if we can find it. High fly ball, shallow toward the line, long run Venable, and in the bullpen makes the catch.
Well, that's a tricky play too. When you're going off the field of play and going towards those pitchers' mounds over there, you really got to be careful.
You know, Tony, nobody knew right field better than you at old Jack Murphy / Qualcomm Stadium. How long did it take for you to get used to those grounds out there? What did you do to prepare?
A couple of years. I used to take ground balls all the time. See how they would ricochet and what it would take to go into the corner. And I'm sure here at Petco, you see the outfielders doing the same thing. Dave Roberts would be out there hitting ground balls and fly balls.
And it was that crushed rock down there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The visiting bullpen?
Yeah, it's not the nice dark brown dirt here like they have here at Petco, but I suspect it's not that tricky down the line where the right field corner is. But the little box seats there, I'm sure that would be tricky. But, you really don't see a whole lot of balls bouncing around in there. They're, flying balls that get into that corner, not really ground balls.
1-2, and pitcher Jordan Lyle stays alive. Now, the size of the warning track in fair play is not uniform around the league. There's some a little longer than others, and you got to measure that too, don't you?
Every time you went into a different ballpark.
That's a strike, and Oldendorf has 5 as he retires the Astros in order in the 4th inning. Bottom of the 4th, it'll be KOTSAY, GRANDAL, and Alonso. inning. We've saluted and our conversation about the shorter players, the great players that weren't exactly tall in the big leagues. Our trivia question was about the shortest pitcher to ever win a league MVP award. And the answer, 5'6" Bobby Shantz, was the American League MVP in 1952 for the Philadelphia A's. He was 24-7. I remember when he first came up and everyone said, in fact, the first time he came up from the minor leagues, he couldn't get in the ballpark. The season had already begun, and he said, I'm been called up. I'm a member of the Philadelphia A's pitching staff. The guy, get out of here, kid. Go back and play with your toys. He had to fight his way into the stadium.
Oh, that's a great story.
And went on to be an outstanding pitcher. I think he spent a few years with the Yankees as well, the Philadelphia and Kansas City A's, and the Houston Astros at the very end of his career. KOTSAY fouls that one off. By the way, he's not in the Hall of Fame, but there are 14 in the Hall of Fame that are 5'7" or shorter. A lot of those from very early in the last century. Rabbit, Moranville, Wee Willie Keeler, and others. 1-1 to KOTSAY. Tied him up with a fastball inside. Or I guess that is a fast slider at 87.
It didn't break very much.
Listed on the board as a slider. KOTSAY grounded to second, his first at bat. Pulls that one right to the first baseman. 2 convenient hops. And there's one away.
You know, one guy that gave me fits and was just a pest was Brett Butler.
Yeah.
You talk about a guy who had great command of the strike zone. You would throw that pitch like maybe an inch off the plate, close enough that it might be called a strike, and he would just flick it foul. Okay. He could bunt. He could really bunt first base line. He could bunt down the third base line, place it perfectly.
He's another guy that said he was 5'9", too.
5'9". Brett Butler said he was, I say, pants on fire.
He was not that tall.
GRANDAL hits it but right to the left fielder. And there's 2 away. Layla, what do you have for us?
Well, just some more updates here via Twitter on social media Tuesday, and a tweet coming from Josh LIBIN 34, and he says, great homer by my man yonder, Alonzo Yu. That is his Twitter handle, and Yasman 10 to get on. So kicking a shout out there via Twitter. Hopefully they can see that one. Yas may have to change his handle now that he's number 12 here with the Padres, though.
I think you ought to change it to YASMANI instead of YASMANI.
I like that. I like it.
Yonder Alonso. Home run to the opposite field is number 4 on the season, measured at 368 feet. They're driving the 2 Padre runs. Second inning. Good action on that pitch from Lyles out of the zone. 3-0.
Well, 2-0 right there. You hit a home run, 2-0, and this time 2-0. He saw the changeup, took it.
Fastball down the middle, 3-1.
He might throw him another changeup here. 2-seamer. Oop, slider.
And he just trying to hold back, nick the ball and foul tip, so it goes full. Uh-oh, that went off the ankle or foot. Sends Alonso dancing.
You know, with the way that ball reacted and where it went after it hit him, that gets him pretty good. Ooh, off the inside.
On the calf, it looked as if it hit him. The Navy's ashore. Of course, special treatment for the men of the military, women of the military. You get season tickets for very little, less than $100, and it's basically a season pass to see the Padres.
You know, that ball wasn't a glancing blow like off the shin and then down the first baseline or out to the second. That ball actually changed direction. Watch. The ball off the bat towards the infield and then back towards the catcher. That's not good.
Paul Navarro, the assistant trainer, out to check on Alonso along with the manager.
There really isn't a whole lot you can do either.
No.
You know, he's got the shin guard on there, and he's got it on the inside, and so obviously he's done that before, but it was just right above where the shin guard is. And, you know, the trainers could come out, and, you know, back in the day, they used to spray that cold stuff on there.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't make it any better, you know, so you really just kind of have to tough it out.
And Alonso painfully jogs to first base. A well-earned walk with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. And this week on Fox Saturday Baseball, it'll be Josh Hamilton and the AL West Rangers. They lead it, heading to Anaheim and trying to take on Mike Trout and the Angels. They've been surging of late. Showdown between 2 rivals in the West of the American League. Fox Saturday Baseball telecast presented by Budweiser begins at 12:30 Pacific time, only on Fox. And then Saturday here, 4:30 for Padres Live. As you see, the Angels pounded Detroit tonight, 13-0.
100 degrees first pitch in the Motor City. Yeah.
And that is a mean 100 degrees.
Yes, it is. He said it was very muggy, humid in Detroit Rock City.
Yeah, I used to say to my dad, do we really have to work today? I mean, it's 100 degrees. He said, it makes the apples grow, son. It makes them grow. One ball, one strike. Venable cued one back to the mound his first time. 2 runs, 5 hits for the visitors. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Padres. Just off the corner again. So Venable now in the catbird seat. 3-1 with Maben on deck.
Good at that here by Will. Being very selective, very patient. Let me get his pitch right here.
He got a slider in on his hands.
Looks like Lyles, when he is behind, he's pitching a little backwards and going to that slider for the go-to pitch. 2-0, 3-1.
It's not breaking very much.
No, it's more like a cut action.
Yeah, really more like a cutter.
3-2, so Alonso will get a running start. And way outside. So back-to-back walks. Lyles had not offered a free pass until this 4th inning. So 2 outs, 2 on walks. Sets the table for Cameron Maben.
Doug Brocail, the pitching coach for the Astros, out to have a chat. Had a nice chat with Doug before the ball game. He says, you know, he's still learning on the job. Learned a lot from pitching coaches that he had during his big league career. He had a long big league career. And, you know, you find out that you can't treat everybody the same way. Treat pitchers differently according to their personalities. Light a fire under some guys, and believe me, to have a pitching coach light a fire, Doug Brocail is the guy that can light a fire now. He was a gamer.
He brings the kindling.
He was a competitor. Yes, he was.
Maben went the other way his first time up, but grounded out to the second baseman ALTUVE. They play him to pull in the outfield. 2 on, 2 out. He goes around.
Part of that conversation Doug Brocail had with Jordan Lyles is that you don't have to go after this guy. Okay, you got the pitcher on deck. And knowing that, you know, Cameron looking to be a little bit more aggressive here, hoping to get something in the zone.
For the Padres last night and losing 2-0, they had some opportunities, but they were 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
Been bugaboo the last 3 or 4 games. Nobody's been able to get that big hit.
Checks his swing. They're 2 for 32 the last 3 games. This is the first opportunity tonight with a man in scoring position.
Again, it's doubly tough here for Maven in the 8th spot because pitcher's on deck. So you'd like to drive in that run, but you just don't know if you're going to get something to do it.
Good breaking pitch there. 2-2.
Again, that little slider didn't break very much.
They say that in the organization, Lyles has the best slider in the Houston system. Chop toward third. That's a base hit for Maben. A swinging bunt single for Cameron Maben, and the bases are loaded. It's the third infield hit tonight for the Padres.
You can see what Lyles was trying to do. He wasn't going to give Maben much to hit because the pitches that were in and around the strike zone, I think they were kind of mistakes because it was in, out, in with the two-seamer and a perfectly placed swinging bunt.
Padres get a hit with runners in scoring position, but
only went 45 feet.
That's right. It wasn't enough to get that run in.
So Ollendorf tried to help himself and takes a good hack.
And with the way Lyles is thinking, it's like, you know what? This isn't so bad anyway, because if I walk maybe this is what I was going to face anyway.
Ollendorf said, let me go ahead and take a hack at this first pitch.
Looking for his first Padre hit. 1-1. Ball and 2 strikes.
Tristan Northby was saying the same. I hope he didn't hurt himself.
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah.
Ground ball foul. Little late on the swing.
Ollendorf choked up a little bit on the bat, just trying to put it in play. His top hand came off the bat there.
Well, the Padre pitchers lead the major leagues in RBIs, but it won't be added to on that. Right back to the pitcher, and the Padres leave 3 in the 4th. It stays 2-2.
Fox Sports SD. Be sure to send us your questions and comments with the hashtag FSBooth, and this is going to be hard to top. RJ Spro with maybe one of the tweets of the day, and I'm not surprised. Don't need to know how many ALTUVE Quinn is, thanks to my growth chart from 1988. You don't think it's that long ago, Tony, until you start looking at the uniforms.
Yeah.
But nice hair.
The hair and the mustache.
Looks good.
Oh, yeah.
Marquee looks, huh?
I guess those growth posters are good forever. You know.
So that was a giveaway by the Padres?
Yeah, it
I
was.
remember that.
Yeah, we had 2. We had that one in brown, and then we had another one, the blue pinstripe.
That's kind of neat. A kid would be able to stand in your frame and your position, see how he grows.
That was a sweet look. That's coming right out of Coming to America.
Well,
that's awesome.
Now those young people who got those posters are grown now.
Yeah, look at that.
Hopefully they're using them with their children.
It's nice. Number 19. Whatever happened to him? On the way to the Hall of Fame. Only hit .338 in 20 years with the Padres, his career batting average.
You're going to Cooperstown, T.
Yeah,
this weekend. Yeah.
Yep.
It's on Friday. The U.S. Post Office is special 4 stamps that involve Baseball Hall of Famers.
Yeah, Joe DiMaggio, Ted Williams, Willie Stargell, and Larry Doby are getting a postage stamp.
That's great.
On Friday, and going to be a part of that ceremony. Looking forward to it.
ALTUVE thrown out by Headley to lead off the 5th inning. So at Cooperstown on Friday, they're going to have a ceremony where those 4 stars, DiMaggio, Doby, Stargell, the man, Ted Williams, 45-cent first class forever stamps for collectors. Legend stamps, they're calling them. And there's an added touch. You're going to be involved in the ceremony that your daughter's going to sing the anthem.
Yeah, she sang the anthem when Cal Ripken and I were inducted. And kind of looking forward to that, too.
Tony, that is so cool. I mean, to sit here next year, I mean, we played together, which was great, a treat to watch. But to sit alongside the Hall of Fame, I mean, it's very, very cool. I'm like a little kid.
Well, we go back, man. It's great, but it's, I enjoy my Hall of Famedom. It's great to be a part of that fraternity. But I really don't whip it out until I go back there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What's your
fly ball shallow in right center? A long run for Venable. Can he get there? No. Throw to second base and a hustle double as Gonzalez has his 3rd hit. A single, a bunt single, and the Padres weren't quick to getting to the ball after Venable tried that circus catch, and Gonzalez kept right on running.
Thought he was going to get there, and he laid out and just a little bit short. And because the ball came with him, nobody got to it quick enough to get the throw in the second base in time.
Marwin Gonzalez has 5 hits in 2 games, plus a walk. Scored a run tonight after the bunt single. So a line single, a bunt single, and a second bloop double off Ohlendorf. Martinez got one in the 1st inning. He blooped down the right field line.
Tony, I know a lot goes on at Cooperstown during that week, but what weekend? What's your favorite moment?
After the ceremony is over on Sunday, you take a picture. All the returning Hall of Famers get together and take a picture, and then we have dinner. And
at that beautiful hotel there?
Yeah, the Otesaga in Cooperstown, New York. And the players welcome whoever's inducted into the Hall of Fame. They usually, the player usually tries to say a few words, and they get all over them. And then we have dinner, and to hear some of these guys tell stories is just unbelievable.
2-1 now to Scott Moore, who struck out and fly to left. Gonzalez 3 for 3 in position to break the tie. Is there a ringleader when you all get together?
Oh,
for that dinner?
There's a bunch of leaders, Dick. You got your wine drinkers, guys that.
High fly ball, sky high. Venable into the corner, running out of room. Just measured right at the Petco porch. And advancing to 3rd is Gonzalez.
Well, Tom Seaver brings in wine every year, and
he's got his own wine.
Yeah, he
believe
does.
me, it is very good. You can bring some back for us.
It must be good because everybody's politicking trying to get some. And
makes me pay for it.
You got to be one of those lucky guys that sit at his table. And it's just a great time. It's just, you welcome the new people in, and they start telling stories, and you can forget it. I'm laughing for 3 hours. It's nonstop laughter for me.
Now, I had the privilege of receiving the Pete Rozelle Award for the broadcaster in the National Football League Hall of Fame. As Martinez 2 for 2, a bloop double and a single that drove in a run. And I was fortunate that when I went back to Canton, they freed up the rules so that I could be in on the luncheon. What you're talking about was a luncheon before the big ceremony at night. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 on Martinez, so I got to sit in. And they said, "Don't say anything. You can sit in the room." and Ray Nitschke was the ringleader. And when he got up and gave the pep talk about we are the Hall of Famers, we're the best this game. I mean, I was ready to put on a helmet and go get him. Where's the wall? Where's the wall you want me to run into? Off the fist, it's still 2 strikes.
Same kind of thing. Same kind of thing. These guys love the game of baseball. They're thinking and talking about how we can make the game better. Those topics always come up every year, and again, to be a part of this group is really unbelievable.
2 strikes to Martinez. Ohlendorf with the tie-breaking run over at third. Just got a piece of that.
Tony, you as a Hall of Famer, who is the Hall of Famer that when he walks in the room you go, wow?
Well, it's 2. It's Willie Mays and Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
When they walk in, I mean, there's a
that's
you know you're with royalty when these 2 guys walk into the Hall of Fame. And
in the dirt, good block by Grandal. And Martinez was itching to come home, or Gonzalez was itching to come home as Martinez took that one.
There's that slider. That's been his go-to pitch, and a great technique by Grandal, taking that right in the chest protector. That's the save. Saving a run.
2 outs, a 2-2 tie here in the 5th. Way outside. And of course, they have a big parade. All the Hall of Famers go through the streets of Cooperstown. What a charming city, little town that is.
They kind of changed it a little bit now. The media and the newspaper guy, they get their ceremony on Saturday.
Struck him out. Slider, and Ohlendorf continues to build the strikeout count. 6 in the game. Padres baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino. Get away for the day at the all-new Sequan Casino, San Diego's destination for casino gaming and excitement. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealer. Out of it, the 5th inning, a 2-2 tie. Second game of this 4-game series. The Padres hosting the Houston Astros. Leadoff man Alexi Amarista, 2 for 2, both on infield hits. Now hit safely in 6 straight games, and you realize how modest that is. But players today, you get around 6 to 10, and it's newsworthy. We tend to emphasize that, and it all is pertinent because on this day, July 17th, 1941, Joe DiMaggio's 56 game hitting streak, 56 in a row, ended in Cleveland against Ken Keltner, the third baseman, made a couple of great plays to rob DiMaggio. But get this, after the 56 games streak was broken, he went on and hit safely in 17 straight after that.
That's amazing. Yeah.
73 of 74 games. What was your longest?
My longest streak was 25 games, but that one's going to be tough.
That's going to be the record you think holds up the longest?
For a little on the hitting side for a little bit longer.
Amarista shallow and left, but playing him just right is Martinez for the first out. Brings up Forsythe. Also on this date in 1947, it's interesting that those stamps involve DiMaggio and Larry Doby. Larry Doby had come into the American League as the first African American in 1947, and 2 weeks later the third player from the Negro Leagues, Hank Thompson, joined the St. Louis Browns. Most fans remember Thompson as a New York Giant. And there's another moment in history that involves a former Padre and a former Astro. Ken Caminiti debuted with the Astros on this date in '87, tripled and homered, and scored the winning run as Houston beat the Phils 2-1. It was only the 4th time ever that a player in his debut homered and tripled in a game. Caminiti. 2-1 now to Forsythe. Off the fist. Well, the Astros win it last night 2-0, and it's a 2-2 game tonight. You see the pitch total for Lyles. Chase Headley on deck. And comes up with a souvenir. And the count full now on Forsythe.
Even though the Padres only have 5 hits, they still take some pretty good swings off Lyles.
Ripped but foul way out in front is Forsythe. Aggressive play made by that fan to take it away from the lady. Did she get hit? Hope not. Line drive over the head of Altuve. A base hit for Forsythe. He takes a big turn and holds. Forsythe extends his hitting streak to 7.
No, that's some hitting there.
Yeah, and aggressive base running too. He came around first base, hoping Bogusevic didn't come up with that ball cleanly, but being out in front of that last fastball, boy, he stays back on this ball, keeps his hands inside the ball, lines it in the right center field.
Look at that hustle.
Coming around first hard. That's how you want to run the bases.
Headley has struck out and grounded out tonight. Chase is one of only 7 players that has seen duty in every game of the season. He started all but 2, and the other 2 he came in as a pinch hitter. He's the iron horse for Bud Black.
He's changing speeds on his fastball.
Yeah, he is, and he's not. He's left-hand hitters. He's not coming in.
Chase didn't like that last call. 2-seam fastball. Looked like it may have been off the plate. Now what do you do as a pitcher? You go right back out there. Hopefully he swings at something out of the zone.
Yeah, Fox track shows that was off the plate. Ooh, that was a strike. So the strike called a ball. The ball called a strike. So that evens the count.
Evens it up. Hey, all works out.
Hubba hubba.
Yeah, 2-2 right here. Here we go.
We need a double right here.
I'm thinking he's not coming in. He's going to go back out over the plate. We're playing him to pull in the infield. And
Big gap between first and second.
Throw that little two-seamer. You could hook it in a hole between first and second or stay back.
Just missed up in the strike zone, so a full count. 3-2 again to Chase Headley, who lives on 3-2.
Situation to be running right here.
Yep.
Good base runner in Forsythe. He takes off. And the ball is flying down the left field line into the corner. Is it fair? Yes, it is. Forsythe racing around third will score easily on a double by Headley. It's 3-2. Who called for the double? I'll pick up the tab.
You could see it coming. He wanted to come in. He came in a couple times, couldn't get it for a strike. Two-seamer out over the plate. Chase Headley stays on it, drives this ball to left field, and that's what you have to do. You're not going to come in and challenge you on the inner half of the plate. He goes away, he goes with it, and drives in the run.
The 21st double, that leads the Padres as well as all the other categories. Most hits, most doubles, most walks. Leads in home runs, and now his 46th RBI. 3-2 San Diego. Still only one out for KOTSAY, who has grounded twice to the right side, the second and the first. Change up, ball one. Ross Ohlendorf, beneficiary here in the bottom of the fifth inning. He's completed his 5 innings of work. So the pitcher of record, not that his evening is over. So 2-0 for KOTSAY. See if he can get something he can drive.
Big run at second base.
Oof. He just got a slider in the zone, down and in, into the happy zone of Mark KOTSAY, and a lot of left-handed hitters. We've seen some left-handed hitters do some damage with this pitch. A little slider, and he tops it foul.
Chase Headley bouncing around at second base like he's thinking about stealing third.
Ground ball into left field. Headley around third, and they're going to hold him there as Martinez came up with the ball quickly. And there had to be a hesitation there for Headley. He didn't know whether or not that ball would be fielded, so he couldn't wander too far from second. So first and third, 3 consecutive hits for the Padres.
What ball was that hit through? Or what hole was that?
5.5.
Oh, believe it. Seen that many times off of your bat.
It's just good hitting. You know, he threw him a 2-0 slider in the middle of the plate and kind of got away with it, and he went back to his bread and butter, two-seamer on outer half. KOTSAY didn't try to pull it, went right with it. He had 3 straight hits here to the opposite field.
All right, now first and third, 1 out, folks. And this has been the roadblock all season. Maybe not this time. That ball slicing down into the corner. Foul ball. Just fouled off the bat of YASMANI GRANDAL, who has singled and scored on Alonso's home run back in the second and lined out to left the last time up. So.
Now, see, this is where the third umpire or the fourth umpire would be down the third base line. Now, you know, Jerry Meals has got to hustle over, or Gary Darling behind home plate. He's got to get a good angle. If that ball's very close to the line, that's a tough call.
That's an interesting point. Strike 2.
Or that hot smash down the third base line in this situation that, you know, tough to determine if it goes over the bag.
And he's got a runner at first base, too, so there could be a play at the plate. So
That's
he can't leave home plate to maybe go make a play at third. Make a call at third. So, yeah, the rotations of the umpires here get tricky, too.
Jerry Meals has to play in on the grass as the umpire so that he can make a call at second or at third. 0-2 the count to Grandal. Up the middle. Will that get through? Yes, it will. 4-2 as Grandal delivers a hopping single to center field. 4 straight Padre hits. 7th RBI of the year for the Padre catcher. And that gets Headley home.
And 2 more hits with runners in scoring position. High fastball. He just bounces it up the middle. Over the pitcher's head with some top spin. Gets into the center field for the base hit.
You know, the power pays dividends not just in home runs. He hit the ball hard. Those high hoppers get through in a hurry too.
And Tony, I ask you this question: when you see the elevation of that pitch, you know there are a lot of hitters that would pop that pitch up, right? But do you see anything differently in the swing of Grandal, or something about him being a hitter that enables him to get on top of that ball and single like he just did?
Fans are going to get tired of me saying this because I say this all the time, but if you are willing to back the ball up and hit the ball the other way, this is usually what happens. Palm is up. You see, the weight is in the center of his stance. That's a good swing right there. And you've seen Alonso in his first at bat hit the 2-run homer. The ball was up and out over the plate. He wasn't afraid to hit the ball the other way. If you hit the ball, you take what they give you, you got a chance to do a whole lot of things.
So with 1 out, Forsythe singled. Headley doubled him home. KOTSAY with a single. And Grandal with an RBI single. The first 3 hits were to the opposite field, and Grandal's right up the middle. Alonso, the 2-run homer in the 2nd inning, number 4 in the season, and he walked the last time up. Oh, he hits himself again. That's twice.
Well, make him forget about the first one.
I don't know if that one might have caught the other foot here.
Yeah, it did. The back foot, I believe. Oh. Yeah, right off the back foot. Oh.
And he's going to be in that hot tub after the game tonight. 2 sore puppies on dog night. It's getting in the spirit in a very painful way.
KOTSAY thought he could go ahead and steal third.
Swing and a miss. Got him with a curveball, and there's 2 away.
We've seen the slider tonight from Lyles. Well, this time he goes softer with the curveball. And, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, but still, you know, Alonso's legs got to be hurting a little bit.
I think that's residue from those foul balls right there.
So 2 out, 2 on to Will Venable, who is tapped to the mound and walked tonight. KOTSAY at second. Grandal at first with an RBI. A lot of pitches for young Lyles here in the 5th inning. His count now is up to 98. 31 pitches this inning. That one was right there.
Yeah, that's the one you need to crush.
Lyles 28 pitches last inning. So his count at the century mark.
He has thrown as many as 117 this year. That was back on May 20th against the Rangers. Well, that curveball starting to maybe hang a little bit.
Well, you can hear against Venable. They tried to pound him inside. Got the 2-seamer out of the plate, and Venable fouled it off. And again, here's where the extra having only 3 umpires really helped you, because Jerry Mills in the center of the diamond.
How can he see it?
Can't really tell. If you see this in college all the time, and on the check swing, you usually don't get it with that guy out in the center of the infield.
3-2, runners off with this one. And a sharp shot to second. Good play. And ALTUVE stretching and throwing out Venable, who hit the ball on the butt. The Padres get 2 runs on 4 hits and claim the lead 4-2. singled in the second. Ronda Alonso the other way. Home run number 4, 2-0. But back came the Astros. They tied it on this base hit by J.D. Martinez in the third inning. And then in the bottom of the fifth, Headley's double makes it 3-2. And YASMANI GRANDAL up the middle to drive in the fourth run. And the Padres enjoy a 4-2 lead after 5 innings of play. 4-9-1 for the home team. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Houston. Astros, a team last night, they won their 10th game all year on the road. They're 10-35. Ross Ollendorf will face Brian Bogusevic, then Chris Johnson and Jordan Schaefer in the 6th. That is his 80th, now 81st pitch of the game. Off speed, and the changeup has Bogusevic way out in front.
Love the changeup. Tony Gwynn, one of the toughest pitches to hit. What? Changeup and a good split?
Split.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right back with an off-speed slider, 74 miles an hour.
One of my favorite stories about Tony as we take a look at the biting slider. Great tilt. Was when I used to throw batting practice to Tony. And he would literally, I'd be at the top of my delivery, throwing him a change. And you know what the great thing about throwing Tony Gwynn batting practice? He said, throw what you want. Don't tell me what's coming. I'd be at the top of my delivery with the changeup.
Fly ball toward the left field foul line. KOTSAY may have room. He does. One away.
And he would yell, changeup. The ball's not even out of my hand.
You can see your fingers.
I know. Now you tell me.
I used to tell him when he played for us. I'd tell him, see your fingers. You know, you tell major league hitters that in the dugout, and they're like, man, you're crazy. Yeah, what are you talking about fingers? So, yeah, I could see your fingers on the base.
Chris Johnson, the hitter. And he's out in front as Ollendorf has gone off speed here in the 6th inning. Johnson struck out, fly to right. A lot of fly ball outs thrown by Ollendorf tonight.
Ollendorf does a nice job of just mixing it up on locating the fastball, good changeup, overhand curveball.
8 of the outs in the air, 2 pop-ups in the rest of the outfield. Layla Rahimi, what do you have for us?
Well, as we continue our social media Tuesday here at Fox Sports San Diego, we have another tweet. This one is to Tony using the hashtag FSBooth. That is how we are communicating with you guys tonight. Tony, who is your favorite and least favorite pitcher to face in your career? And that is from TR Wig ORD 96.
Well, my least favorite, I think, was a lot of guys' least favorite, Randy Johnson. 6'11", 100 miles an hour, 3/4 delivery. Ooh, I didn't. I didn't duck him, but I did not like facing him. And your favorites were, I usually don't talk about those guys because.
Ground ball to Headley. And there's 2 away.
I was going to say, I usually don't talk about them. So our guys in the truck, they put a little list together of guys that I got a lot of hits against. And I can tell you that guy at the top, Greg Maddux, it still wasn't fun to face him.
Some pretty good pitchers.
Yeah,
there.
John Smoltz, 4-pitch mix. Rick Mailer and Tom Browning both were more off-speed type guys.
I look at those pitchers, and there's a common theme. Those guys were strike throwers. They were around the plate.
Yep. Just kind of worked into my style of hitting. And again, it wasn't that you liked to face them, that you felt comfortable.
Schaefer, first ball hunting, sends a pop fly back a second, and Forsythe waits, and an easy inning for Ross Ollendorf. 1, 2, 3, the Astros go.
your buddy to the ballpark to watch a game. San Diego leading 4-2 as we're in the 6th inning, and more questions from social media Tuesday. Use the hashtag FSBooth and tweet us at Fox Sports SD. This one from BJ Michaels SD. How difficult is it to come back from a major swing change like Cameron Maybin? Tony Gwynn, an excellent question for you. You've seen what Maybin has done in his swing, and it's proven to have some results too.
Yeah, you know, most of the time you don't want to go through a major change during the course of the season, but, you know, just picking his foot up and setting it down, that one's not as major as maybe something else.
Pops this one down near the bullpen, and now the play. Bogusevic over there to take it, look at it. Maybin is grounded out and singled.
Most of the time you want to go to spring training, kind of come up with your game plan of what you're going to use during the course of the season by playing in the games, and then once the season starts, you'd like to start with it and finish with it. But you know, obviously everybody's not going to have the same kind of success. And I think the leg kick change is one that you can make during the course of the season. All you're doing is going from lifting your leg to really, you know, starting on your toe and setting your foot down.
That ball drilled to center field for a base hit. Maybin is 2 for 3.
Again, as you saw from that swing right there, to me it looks a whole lot better, a whole lot more consistent. So he puts that foot down on the ground and then he starts to swing, and boy, he's in a good position. That follow through is nice and high. See, the palm is up at contact. And, you know, I know fans are sick and tired of me talking about.
No.
But you know, it's a beautiful thing to see when guys do it consistently.
Ball up the middle, and Maybin was running, so stays out of the double play as Guzman, the pinch hitter, goes after the first pitch, and he's thrown out.
Oh, Maybin had a huge jump there. You almost like to see Guzman take that and give him a chance to steal the bag, because
that would have been a surefire double play had Maybin not been running.
Yeah. If he'd have let Maybin steal that bag, he would have had a chance to drive in a run as a pitch hitter.
First pitch swing fouled off by Amarista. He has 2 infield hits tonight. And Maybin an infield hit as well. Padres with a total of 10 overall. Chance to add to the 4-2 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So the Padres 0 for 8 against Houston last night, runners in scoring position, but 3 for 6 tonight.
Fernando Abad, the left-hander, heating up for the Houston Astros in their bullpen.
Reaches out on a changeup.
Tony, just to elaborate on the swing of Cameron Maybin, we talked about the lower half, right? The toe tap. Now, to me, it seems like it'd be much more difficult if you adjusted your hands in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Does he have the same path?
I think he does have the same path, but what he's tried to do is by doing that toe tap, shorten the stroke. Where with the leg kick, he was a little bit longer with the swing. Now the swing is a little bit shorter because he's got more time because he's getting his foot on the ground sooner.
Slapped sharply foul. Now let's go back to Maybin when he was slumping. Here's the knee lift on the left, and then the current.
See how body is still in a good position, but the barrel is getting there a little bit later. And by going to the toe tap and shortening the stroke a little bit, that's going to allow his barrel to stay in the zone a whole lot, in the hitting zone a whole lot longer.
And it's just a little bit,
and
but this game of baseball,
it's as quick as you can blink your eye. That's the difference.
2-2 to Amarista. And another foul, changeup. He was on it, and young Jordan Lyles now laboring at 112 pitches in the game. 1 out. Maybin at second base. 113 by our count.
See, I like that by Amarista. He took a changeup and was late and clouded down the left field line, so that means he's seeing the ball good.
Line drive, is it fair? No, it's a foul by about 10 feet into the bullpen.
And he comes right back and hits the ball down the right field line, and that's what you want to do as a hitter. You want to be one-dimensional. You want to be able to move the ball around and hit it where it fits, and you can do that.
Now he needs to go to the center of the diamond.
Hey, center of the diamond, still the biggest hole on the diamond.
Up and away, 3-2.
That curveball's starting to get away.
And Marista's a base hit away. He's hitting .298 with a 2 for 3 tonight. A base hit away from the 300 mark. Forsythe hitting over 300. The only Padre in the lineup. 304 at the start tonight. Logan Forsythe on deck. There he goes. And fouled away. Had another good break.
Yep, he did. And the 2 strikes, Amarista, of course, has got to protect the plate, so you got to go for your own thing right there. You can't worry about the base runner.
Okay, see, we're wondering. We were talking about third being the easiest to steal. Since 2007, the rate of steals, second base 72.9%, third base almost 77%. Line drive, base hit. Amarista drives in another. Here comes Maben to score. It's 5-2. Amarista the second. Out. That was Jerry Beals, that full of drama on that one. Amarista trying to steal an extra base, but he gets a hand as he comes back to the dugout. He's becoming a fan favorite here. Alexei, a 3 for 4 night, drives in his 20th run of the season.
That's just a great at bat there by Alexei. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful swing. Over the shortstop's head. He's not going to throw Cameron Maben out. Martinez did a great job out there in left field getting that ball back in.
Forsythe cues a one-hopper back to the mound. Lyles over to first for the out, but the Padres had a run on singles by Maben and Amarista. It's 5-2.
The seventh inning right now, and the Padres are up 5-2. Yonder Alonso going big fly for San Diego.
Outstanding swing by Yonder Alonso, taking this ball out over the plate and finally driving one out of Petco Park to left field. That's a tailor-made swing for Yonder.
All about adjustments. Coming up in the postgame show, we're going to talk about something the Padres have struggled with for a while, guys. We mentioned it in the pregame. Runners in scoring position. Different story altogether tonight. Ross Ohlendorf with a nice outing. We'll break that down. And hey, the legend, Tony Gwynn, teaches the kids how to throw properly from the outfield. We'll also have the results of our fan defense poll. You voted. We give you those results coming up in a couple of moments. And our highlights from all around the league include A Night You Have to See to Believe by Mike Trout. We'll see you in the postgame show.
Trout tearing it up. You just tuned in. You wonder, what's that all about? He's not the first Trout in the major leagues to have a great career, or at least as a rookie. He's going to wrap up that honor as Brad Brock comes in to pitch in the seventh inning. Good job. Ross Ohlendorf stands to win his third game against no losses. 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, walked 1 and struck out 6. Hands it over to Brad Brock. Carlos Corporan the pitcher spot, and then Jose Altuve for Houston here in the top of the 7th. 1 ball and 1 strike. Corporan had 11 RBIs and a brief visit to the big leagues last year. His first of the season tonight on a ground out. Joe Thatcher getting loose.
Well, Brad Brock is in a nice little groove. He pitched last night, 1 scoreless inning. 0s all the way across for the right-hander.
Brian Bixler will pinch hit apparently. Mentioned the other Trout. Mike Trout is just tearing them up for the Angels. Back in the 40s and 50s, the Tigers had a pitching staff. They called them the TNT. Trout, Newhouser, and Trucks. It was a pitching staff that took the Tigers to the 45 pennant in the World Series championship. It was Gizzy Trout. Well, the Padres knocking in runs. Headley with an RBI double as the runners in scoring position paying off. Grandal chopping one up the middle that proved to send Headley home. And Amarista line drive, his 3rd hit of the night to get Maben home.
I heard that comment we made about 2 for 32 runners in scoring position, and tonight cashing in on some opportunities.
Amarista with 5 hits in the 2 games of this series. Bixler as a pinch hitter is 0 for 8. Brock appears to throw a heavy ball.
93 to 95 on the fastball, works quickly. Little deception too, because the big right-hander throws across his body a little bit. It'd be tough for a right-handed hitter to try to pick that up.
Pride and joy of Monmouth University in New Jersey, Brad Brock. And he throws that one right through the swing of pinch hitter Bixler for the strikeout.
Hey, Padre fans, it's summertime, so you want to add some style to your summer wardrobe with a pair of exclusive Padres sunglasses. Watch your Padres battle the Astros day after tomorrow. Thursday at 7:05, receive a pair of Padres sunglasses presented by Knockaround Sunglasses. Look at Edberg. He looks like Jack Nicholson. Get your tickets today at Padres.com or 619-795-5555.
Don't need sunglasses. Catch that one, Altuve, right to the glove of Alonso. Hey, now we're talking about the Mafia struck at Petco. Brought to you by Petco, where the healthy pets go. And by your San Diego County Chevy dealer. Stop in now and take advantage of our total confidence pricing, where the price you see is the price you pay. Tax, title, license, and dealer fees are extra. 5-2 Padres. The bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Headley, KOTSAY, and GRANDAL in the middle of the lineup. Our Dog Day special for 2012, and some handsome canines here parading at Petco. Fernando Abad, his 26th game of the season, the left-hander from the Dominican Republic, and Headley sends a high foul fly off home plate, out of play. Well, the first pitch tonight, and appropriately by movie star Uggy in the Academy Award-winning movie The Artist. That's Clayton Richard. Hey, right here's home plate. Watch out. Supporting actor. The Friar gets the Oscar for supporting actor. Oh, yeah, a little nugget over there for him to chew on. Remember, Uggy was quite the star in the movie, the black and white movie, almost a silent movie, The Artist. Yeah, all breeds are here tonight. I haven't seen a Dalmatian yet. That's our dog.
Wow.
Nope, that one catches Headley down on the foot. Headley aboard, hit by a pitch.
A lot of hitters on that slider like that would move their feet, pitch to try to get you to move your feet. And down in the count. 0-2, Headley just stood there and took it.
Good one for the team.
My goodness, look at the size of that dog. My gosh.
It's all hair. Still no Dalmatian.
Is that a St. Bernard? Nice. What a beautiful dog. Look at the head on that guy.
It's like the Westminster Kennel Show in New York's Madison Square Garden. The attendance has been announced, 20,944. Dogs excluded. High pop fly. Kotsay's ball squeezed by shortstop Gonzalez, one away. So Jordan Lyles goes 6 innings. The starter for Houston allows 5 runs, all earned, 11 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Ohlendorf, who stands to win his 3rd game, 6 innings, 2 runs, both earned, 6 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Good outing by Ohlendorf. Joe Whelan, of course, he has not decided yet as to the path he's going to take with that sore elbow. Is he going to have surgery or not?
I think he's leaning towards surgery. And we wish Joe well.
What a fine young guy. And
yes, he is.
A lot of talent. YASMANI Grandal hitting right-handed for the first time as a left-hander, a single, and scored in the 2nd. Another single to drive in a run in the 5th inning. Raising his average up to 294. Layla Rahimi, what's the latest on Joe Whelan?
Yeah, we do have an update on Joe. Buddy Black talked about it today. He said that Whelan is expected to undergo Tommy John surgery, and that's supposed to happen sometime in the next 2 weeks. No set day yet, though, on when Whelan is supposed to undergo the surgery. But just sad news there to report, especially given what he was building on so far this year.
Well, that's the 4th Tommy John surgery this year for the Padres, including their minor league star Juan Ramos. Corey Lupke, who was off to a terrific start. Swung on and missed. Good fastball from Abad at 93 miles an hour, and Grandal is down on strikes. 2 away.
Yeah, Abad's got that good fastball, as you mentioned, Dick, along with the curveball and the change. Not afraid to throw his off-speed pitches at any time. Got a good feel for that heater.
Line drive left center field off the bat of Alonso. That's up the gap. Running all the way is Headley. He's to third, and around to home he goes. It's 6-2 on a long double by Alonso. Third RBI of the night for Yonder.
Oh, I just like that guy's swing. Look at this, a slider. It stays right in the middle of the plate. He goes right with it up the gap.
And he seems to hit left-handers better than right-handers. At least statistically, that's true.
And going into this game, Alonso hitting 286 off of left-hander, and believe me, guys, the legs are hurting.
Yeah.
You could see him. I was watching him out of the box down the first base line and rounding first. I mean, that was a sure stand-up double, but those foul balls off of both legs tonight, you got to be barking a little bit. No pun intended on.
Oh, you were waiting to get that one in. You were sitting on that. And stay. So, the left-hander, Abad gives up an RBI double to Alonso. And here's Venable.
I just love the way the Padres have added on tonight and throwing up goose eggs.
Yeah.
On the Houston side of the line score.
No, that's a knock. That's not a knock with guys in scoring position, but that's what you want to do. You got a good pitch to hit. You drove it up the gap, still able to try to run in from first base.
2-run homer for Alonso and an RBI double. Raising his RBI count to 27. And Venable with a 2-out walk. Second time he's walked tonight. So Abad hit Headley to open the inning, and that cost him. Headley coming around to score on Alonso's double, and now first and second with 2 outs to Cameron Maben. And a meeting at the mound. And Dario Del Rosario is throwing in the bullpen for Houston. And we remind you, this season you can enjoy a free hot dog. And dogs all over the place, right? Free hot dog and a free Coke at over 20 games with a Coke value deal. You choose one of 4 seating areas at any of the designated games and receive a free Coke and a free hot dog with your game ticket. Visit Padres.com/on-deck tonight.
We've got hot dogs, we've got cold dogs, we've got big dogs, small dogs, furry dogs.
But no Dalmatians. I
haven't spotted one yet.
I'm a little upset by that. Maben, 2 on, 2 out. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Off the head of the bat, foul. Amarista leading the hit parade for the Padres tonight with 3 hits. Grandal with a couple. Alonso with 2 extra base hits, a double and a home run. Maben with 2 hits, a total of a dozen, and a 6-2 lead. Another good swing and a wicked line drive that caroms off an empty seat, thank goodness.
That was an aggressive 0-1 swing. That first pitch that he swung at really wasn't a strike. So again, down in the count 0-2. For the last week, really hadn't faced Cameron. He's still been able to take some pretty good swings.
Punches that one foul. Well, I don't know if it's a product of the toe tap versus the knee lift. It just seems like he's going to all fields more and not just trying to pull everything in April and May.
And that's what I would say too, because at least that's what it looked like on TV. It looked like he was trying to pull the ball.
That ball hit well to left center field, and that's deep. It's way out there and caught by a fan, but is that a home run? I don't think so. That should be a double. He reached over. Yeah, trying to help Cameron out. And he probably cost the Padres a run because that ball would have been caroming off the boards, and with 2 outs running all the way was Will Venable, and he would have scored from first base, but he'll have to go back to third on the fan interference, and a ground rule double is the call.
I think Buddy's going to have a discussion here with Gary Darling, because you can have that discussion. Can you assume that that run might have scored right there? I'm going to call interference. And so, yeah, and here comes Will Venable right now. He's going to score.
Oh, so they're going to rule that Venable, with 2 outs running all the way, even though the fans reached over the barrier into fair territory to make the catch, is going to score to make it a 8-2 game. And Brad Mills is going to argue about this.
Of course, he's not going to be happy about that because normally when a fan interferes with that ball, your runner usually goes back to third. But it's really the umpire's discretion as to whether or not that runner can score or not. And with 2 outs, runners are going.
Exactly.
So, it's a good chance. You see the helmet right there of Will Venable. He's going to score on that ball, whether it's interfered with or not.
Well, in the old days, though, that was just automatic. If
Right.
somebody interfered, you had to go back to third base. And they have loosened that rule to make it fair that if a runner would have scored anyway, you shouldn't be penalized by the fan interference. So 2 runs score to make it 8-2 Padres, and Maben with a big night. 3 consecutive hits and a couple of RBIs. Pitching change, and we'll see Krista Northey enter the game as well. We'll be right back.
We're still in the bottom of the 7th. Cameron Maben now at second on Padres baseball here. And it's also Social Media Tuesday at Fox Sports SD. You've been tweeting your questions with hashtag FSBooth all night. And we get one from Australia. Sending my regards to all Padres fans via FSBooth from New South Wales. Nicely done. And what a check-in. How about that long-distance dedication, you guys?
Well, Everett Cabrera, meanwhile, Layla, thank you. First pitch from Del Rosario right in at his ankles, and Everett Cabrera is on hit by a pitch, and a warning being given by plate umpire Gary Darling, and we'll stop it right there.
You surprised at that, Tony?
Yes.
A warning?
Yes, I am.
That was the first pinch hit appearance for Cabrera all year, and he gets hit. So he says, hey, coach, get somebody else in there.
The first thing that comes to my mind is that, is there a history between Cabrera and Del Rosario?
That could be going back to a winter league or whatever.
And with the score being 8-2, I highly doubt that something would happen if it were 2-2 or 1-1. Game's kind of out of reach. I mean, I know there's always baseball to play, but there's a lot of factors to weigh in.
Amarista, line drive. He hits it hard again. It's a double play, but Amarista 3 hits and a line shot for a double play. But the Padres get 3 runs on a couple of doubles and lead it 8-2. Had a dismal record with runners in scoring position the last 3 games. Have awakened tonight. Headley drives in a run. GRANDAL adds a tally. Amarista line drive RBI to get Maven home. And Alonso already with a 2-run homer. His double scores a run. And Maven adds 2 more with that drive just off the top, or below the top of the fence in left field. Shy of a home run. The fan caught it, but it was ruled a 2-run double, and the Padres have an 8-2 lead. That was not a double play to end the inning up, but even though Del Rosario threw over to first base. The final out as 8 men came to bat in the 7th, and the Padres scored 3 more. Everett Cabrera stays in the game at shortstop with Amarista moving to left field. And Joe Thatcher in to pitch the 8th inning. Well, a feel-good night for the Padre dugout with 13 base hits.
Got the O going.
Love that. Adding on and keeping the Astros quiet at the plate in the meantime.
Not even letting them think they have a chance to get back in it.
Gonzalez 3 for 3 tonight. He has half of the Houston hits. Line single, bunt single, and a bloop to right for a double. 0-2 the count. Moore and then Martinez to follow in the top of the 8th inning. Padres bullpen the last 6 games, and you count tonight Brock pitching an inning, 20 in the 3rd innings, and they've allowed only 3 runs. 1.40 ERA, even better than that when you add in Brock's 1-2-3 inning. A batting average under 170 and 25 strikeouts in those 20 in the 3rd innings. So the bullpen doing the terrific job again. 2-2.
Well, it's worth mentioning again. I mentioned it last night, but you mentioned the bullpen numbers, Dick. This year, when they lead after 7, the Padres are 25-1, and that's because the bullpen is getting the job done late.
Two and two. Thatcher to Gonzalez. Puts another good swing on it, and Headley can't field it cleanly. And that should be an error. And is so scored. Second error committed by the Padres tonight. Ohlendorf with a wild throw trying to pick off a runner was charged with an error earlier.
See Headley give ground on this ball, and it just never really fielded this ball cleanly. It went off his glove. And at this point, he's got no chance of throwing the runner out.
Yep. Marwin Gonzalez keeps putting good swings on the ball, doesn't he? 5 hits in the series. That one was hit hard, but in and out of the glove of Headley for the air. Scott Moore has struck out and flied twice. Once to left and once to right.
Wow.
The sweeper.
That breaks a whole lot right there. You're a left-hand hitter, and you see that thing coming at you, and it ends up almost in the right-hand hitter's batter's box.
Lifted off third, foul territory. Had to watch out, and he wisely went into a slide before he would have slammed into that barrier. Final in from Colorado. Pittsburgh beats the Rockies 6-2. The Dodgers lead the Phils 2-1 in the top of the 8th inning up at Dodger Stadium. Arizona lost at Cincinnati 4-0, and San Francisco a big winner tonight, 9-0 at Atlanta. So they're now 50-40. Swing and miss, strike 3. Thatcher makes quick work of Scott Moore. Brings up JT Martinez, a double RBI single and a strikeout.
Well, fastball, sweeper, and then he goes with the heat, challenges him, and blows it right by him. That's the Linda Ronstadt fastball. Blew by you.
Now, how are you going to fit that into the canine theme here tonight? Bayou? They're Bayou dogs? Or do you buy them? One out here in the 8th. And Bud Black, from his point of view, can look through the diamond right up at that big scoreboard and see those crooked numbers. 2 in the 5th, then 1 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, 2 back in the 2nd. That must be a pretty picture for the manager.
You know, for Buddy, I think that even if he could fence the 1 in the 6 looks good after last night. It's nice to see the guys putting together some really good at-bats here.
1-1, a ground ball to third, could be 2 to second for 1. Forsythe the first out, double play around the horn. 5, 4, 3. That's it for the Astros in the 8th.
The Dog Days and Social Media Day continues here from Petco Park. San Diego leading Houston 8-2, and a great picture sent in to us with the hashtag FSBooth via Twitter from Sean Lightfoot. Look at those 2 precious Boston Terriers in their Padres jerseys. Not bad. Pretty nice picture. Continue it if you want. We're doing it all night here on Social Media Tuesday, and some great friends here at the ballpark with us. Dick, Mark, and Tony, let's send it up to you.
Well done. Will Howell for home run. A good night had by all. Always fun at the ballpark and beautiful Petco Park. Plenty of action left here on this one-week homestand. Tomorrow day game. We'll be on the air. Is it noon or 11:30 tomorrow for Padres Live?
It's a 12:30 first pitch, correct? So I guess 11:30.
Oh, 11:30 Del Mar, of course. I've got to get my daily double wager in. I wonder if Pomerantz will take my $2 bet out there.
Sure.
I got to look over I'm going to go a hunch bet tomorrow. A couple of hunch bets that have baseball implications. Forsythe, a single and 4 at-bats, extending his streak to 7 straight. And Marista's now hit safely in 6 in a row. So it'll be Forsythe, Headley in the pitcher's spot. Joe Thatcher hitting in the 4th hole. New right-hander is Rainer Cruz. '27th appearance for Cruz. Oh, he knew it right down the heart of the plate. Strike out, Forsythe. And speaking of tomorrow, we hope you'll be with us with a special edition of Padres Live from opening day at beautiful Del Mar. Mike and Mark and the crew will broadcast live from the paddock before our first pitch here at Petco and the first post, the 2 o'clock post at Del Mar. Padres live from opening day at Del Mar tomorrow, 11:30 on Fox Sports San Diego. Headley grounded out, struck out, knocked in a run in the 5th inning with a double, then later scored himself, and hit by a pitch scored a run in the 7th inning. Line drive right field, but right to, and he dropped the ball. Bogusevic. That one was right to him, a couple of steps, and he muffed it.
He hit a knuckleball out there to right field. Chase Headley was right on the button with this swing.
Oh, that was a screamer right to Bogusevic.
Yeah, there's that sound of the ball off the bat that you know that it's squared up. This is a good old-fashioned boot by Bogusevic. Kind of tough to tell what kind of action the ball had on it.
Chris Denorfia, who had a bat, was in the on-deck circle, but a pitching change made, and Bud Black called him back. Used Cabrera, and he grounds it sharply to third. There's one, and back to first in time for a double play. And we go to the 9th inning. Padres 8, Astros 2. Star of the game, and it's Yonder Alonso. Put the Padres on the board in the 2nd with his 4th home run of the year to make it 2-0, and came back to punish himself from both right and left side, and it didn't slow him down. He drives one to left center and knocks in another run in the 8th inning. Big night for Alonso. 2 extra base hits, 3 runs batted in. Our Carl's Jr. star of the game. Takes the bite of those foul tips. Luke Gregerson to work the 9th inning.
You know, Tony, you and I have talked about it many times, and baseball being an everyday sport, not only the aches and pains that go with playing this game, just from, even if you're not hurt, then you've got to deal with the foul tips off the feet, off the shins, getting hit by pitch. It all adds up.
Yeah, and the good thing is these guys are young. Alonso fouling balls off both legs. This is his first crack at being an everyday player in the big leagues. Early on, you kind of toss those things aside. You're just happy to be out there.
Look at Amarista playing his 3rd position tonight. He started at shortstop, played an inning in left field. Now Denorfia's taken over in left, and Amarista goes to 2nd base. Cabrera at short. Is that Forsythe over at 3rd, or still Headley at 3rd?
Forsythe.
So Bud Black moving his young infielders around. So Forsythe at 3rd, Cabrera at short, Amarista at 2nd. Neither of those 3 started at that position, and Alonso at 1st as Gregerson goes to work Bogusevic. First pitch, strike. Forsythe, that's his normal position at 3rd base. Out of play. Gregerson jumps in front, 2 strikes.
And remember, folks, Padre fans, stay tuned after the game. Lots to talk about. There's still a lot of baseball left, T, right?
Yeah.
Always have to say that.
Always.
Padres Live coming up right after the game with Mike Pomeranz and Mark Sweeney. Stay tuned. A lot to talk about.
Go into the classroom with Professor Gwynn and talk about outfield play. 0 for 2 with a walk tonight, this left-handed hitter. Boy, that's a wicked slider, and Bogusevic getting just enough to stay alive. Don't miss the Padres deal of the week. You enjoy great seats in the Toyota Terrace infield with in-seat service. Your Padres take on division rivals Rockies on Friday night, a 7:05 game. It won't last forever, so don't wait. Visit Padres.com/on-deck to find the latest deals and promotions. Pounded foul, another slider. Johnson and Schaefer to follow, top of the 9th for the Astros. Well, nothing's a laugher, but this is about as close as it comes for the Padres.
Especially after last night's game. Turn around and put 8 runs on the board on 13 hits. I feel like you're gonna close this one out.
1-2. The Padres in losing 2-0 last night, but you couldn't blame it on the bullpen. They worked 4 2/3 innings of scoreless ball, and again tonight, a scoreless 7th by Brock. Thatcher takes care of business. 3 men he faced in the 8th, and now Gregerson trying to slam the door on a win. Strikeout. Bogusevic. 1 away.
This ball had some serious tilt to it. That's the slide. Tony, that almost looked like a backup slider.
Yeah.
He tried to backdoor it. Almost kind of had a change-up action to it.
See, from that view right there, the look of it coming out of his hand had a different kind of look too.
Chris Johnson has struck out, fly to right, and grounded to third baseman Headley. And he looks at a strike, a fastball. Oh, and 2.
I wish I could go back in time and talk to Luke Gregerson and talk to him about his slider. It's such an effective pitch because he holds it totally different. He actually kind of chokes it. Oh, my.
3 pitches, and Johnson is gone. A couple of strikeouts for Gregerson. 2 outs in the 9th.
You know, usually a breaking ball, a pitcher will hold it more on his fingertips a little bit. There's a little gap between baseball and the inside of his. But Luke actually kind of chokes that slider, and you can see he gets it back in his hand and gets it out there and just pulls it with some authority.
That's why I think it's so good. You know, you just don't see many pitchers.
Why couldn't I have done that?
Looks so easy.
So this is the same thing about Pete Rose and George Brett.
Yeah.
Watch for the same things. And you see that ball jammed all the way back in his hand. As a hitter, you're not thinking slider when you see it all the way back there. So I think that's one of the things that makes him so effective.
And the Astros down to their final strike. So you could actually see the ball before it was released in the hand and judge it.
Right at release point, I could see it. I could see. If I saw a lot of white, I figured fastball. If I saw his hand turned a little bit, it was some lost speed. Like I was talking about with Mudd, sometimes you could see a finger on the changeup.
Yeah, you were cheating then, huh?
No, I wasn't cheating.
No, I'm teasing.
It's okay.
That's the brilliance of being a great hitter, an all-timer. Down to the final strike. Gregerson trying to strike out the side. And he does. Padres come back from that 2-0 loss last night with a 13-hit attack led by Yonder Alonso. And the fans, 20,944, cheer an 8-2 win. Mike Pomeranz.
What a night to watch. Boy, the offense outstanding. Of course we're going to talk about that. We'll talk Ross Ohlendorf, but folks, plenty of reasons to stick around. Runners in scoring position, the breakdown, and how much the Padres have improved. Tony Gwynn teaches the young players how to play the outfield, and we have the results on this Social Media Tuesday of our fan poll on fan defense.